Welcome to episode number 11 of the WWIM podcast. That's WWIM podcast, Women Who Inspire Me. Our guest today is the beautiful, lovely, smart, fun, funny, not just funny, hilarious, creative, empathetic, kind, Westborough native Katie Kircher. Thanks for being here. How'd you like that intro? Good.
It's Katie Maier. Sorry.
I didn't know you had changed it.
Oh, yeah. I changed my
Okay.
name. Yeah.
Katie Maier.
Yeah.
Recently married last June.
Yes.
Yes.
Took me a while to get there.
Yes.
But I got there.
Grew up in Westborough, Mass.
Yes. Grew up right on
Class
Flanders
of
Road.
Westborough High, 2001. Is that right?
2002.
I know. I was close.
Was it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2002.
Because you're exactly 10 years behind me.
Sure. Yes.
Crazy.
Yes.
And we've known each other for almost 18 years now. Isn't that?
Yes. That is crazy.
Right?
That's pretty crazy. Yeah. 20 years since high school, too. It's times.
Yep.
Flying
Every year.
by.
Any fun stories from growing up in Westborough? What was that like?
No, I have no fun stories.
No fun stories at all.
I didn't grow up in a community. Like, I didn't grow up in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
So it was just me in the woods and my brothers constantly being like, go away. And me crying and chasing after them. Yeah, I didn't really, it was hard. It was kind of hard for me growing up because I didn't have that. Like, I hear a lot of kids talking about, like, the things they did around their neighborhoods and riding their bikes and, like, going over to so-and-so's house, like, and cutting through the woods to get to, and doing, like, fun, sneaky stuff. And that wasn't me. Nobody was around me.
Well, you had a sister and two brothers.
Yeah, my sister's 8 years older than me.
Yeah, so
and then my brothers are 5 and 3 years older than me. And yeah, I'm closer with my brother Danny now than I was growing up. But yeah.
How did you like Westborough High?
It was okay. I didn't like high school.
Yeah.
I didn't like middle school.
Yeah.
I was undiagnosed ADHD with a whole bunch of learning disabilities that weren't diagnosed, and it was all just like, what's wrong with you? And so
pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah, you're annoying. Like,
no teacher said that. Did any teacher say that?
Yeah. I had a teacher call me rude. I had another teacher call me annoying. But I mean, and then of course peers too. Just always like, you're annoying.
What were you? Did you extracurriculars at Westborough? Anything? Theater show. You were in shows, right?
Yeah, I was in shows. I was only in one show though. Out of my 4 years there.
That's surprising.
Yeah, it is. I did more musical theater. I did a lot of it in middle school.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I only did one show in high school, and then I did some after high school. I did a lot of summer musical theater.
Summer stock, isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, it was. No, it was Weston Drama Workshop.
Oh. I don't know what that means.
And it was out in Weston at Regis College.
I thought you said Western. I'm
no,
like, Westerns?
Weston,
Okay,
yeah.
Weston, Mass.
And that's when I did my musical theater.
Okay.
I did it over the summer, and it was always fun. I met a lot of cool friends, but I don't talk to them anymore. Oh. So.
What were the shows?
Remember? We were in Greece.
Oh, nice.
That was a lot of fun. What else? A Little Night Music by Stephen Sondheim. And I was in another one, too. I can't remember, though.
Remember the time, it's coming to my mind, where we saw your brother in a show was it Arlington?
Oh, Danny, when we saw Chris Evans?
Yes,
he sat in front of us. That was fun. Well, he used to do musical theater with my brother Chaz at Weston Drama Workshop.
Oh, okay. Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My mom has my mom has this photo book. She's so proud of Chaz. I mean, he's got a wonderful voice. He's a good actor. But she has this photo book of him, and you flip through it, and there's Chris Evans on stage with my brother. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's cool. That's where I started musical theater.
And that was the same time my car broke, remember?
Yes, your car
my
broke.
car broke down. My old Dodge Neon broke, and we ordered takeout, and you went to get it in your car that was working. And we ate it in your car. We ate food in your car.
Waiting for the tow truck. Right. I do remember that. That was like in Marlboro or something.
Yeah, because we didn't make it to the. Or were we meeting in Marlboro?
We were meeting somewhere. I don't know. Yeah.
And then I wore, because we didn't know Chris Evans was going to be there. We knew there was a possibility.
We were going to see my brother,
right.
And he was in it with his sister.
His sister. So we're like, oh, there's a possibility. So I wore my Punisher shirt because I knew Captain America might be there.
Yeah.
And I think his friend, Chris Evans' friend, like noticed it and like pointed it out to him because like he was like that. But Chris was like, you could tell like there was a group of people that knew him from before and like were surrounding him.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Everyone was cool about it. No one like there wasn't a crowd that
they were his people.
Yeah.
They were his safe people.
Yeah.
And he look down.
Right. Yeah. You could tell and that's what you got to do. Like you got to respond to the body language. Yes.
Yeah.
Read the room, as it were.
That was funny though. It was a funny experience.
Speaking of funny experiences, when I first met you and Kaylin.
I just knocked on your door and was like, help us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're stupid.
So I didn't know someone across the hall from me was moving in to that apartment.
Oh, you didn't?
And then, no, I had no idea. I didn't.
Hi.
I hear a knock on the door. And it's you and Kaylin. Hi, can you help us hook up the Nintendo?
Yeah, it was something. The cable or the Nintendo. Yeah, and then it was.
And it's friendship ever since, like that.
Yeah, the 32420 Club. Yeah, we were
watching Family Guy. Every Sunday.
Yeah.
And then you moved into Ruggles Street at some point. It was when I was at Hope Lodge.
Your apartment.
Right.
Yeah, it was I lived there for about a year.
Yeah.
When I was working at the middle school.
Okay.
And right up here with the boy that I used to babysit.
Okay.
But I no longer work with children. That was not my bad.
What was your first? Was Fails your first education job? What was your?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Fails. Well, I did with the senior program. I forget what the Quest program.
Okay.
I did kindergarten there.
Oh, okay.
And then I went up to school to become a teacher, but then I was like,
in Maine?
Yeah.
Correct.
I was like, do I want to do this? So that's where I discovered psychology. And then I came back from college and I was like, well, I've always been good with kids.
Right.
So I started as a sub and got a para job.
Right. And that was when, who was there? Was Brendan there? Some of my nephews and nieces were there at the same time you were there, right? At Fails?
Yeah, I babysat for them.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Definitely.
Brennan, who just graduated college.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I babysat for a lot of kids on this street.
What would you say was your paraeducator style? I'm guessing you were the fun, funny, silly one the kids loved.
Yeah, I was the goofy kid.
Yeah.
People would always, I was the goofy one, people would always tell me that I should write children's songs.
Yeah.
They'd come by and
we should do a YouTube. I've always wanted to do a YouTube children's channel. I think I could do that.
I used to love I would dance around the room singing like Lori Berkner. Teachers would stop. Kids walking down the hall would be like,
what's going on? Yeah.
What's going on in there?
It's amazing how anything out of the ordinary, if you're just singing or like they'll like, oh my God, my programming doesn't correspond to what I'm seeing, and like you can capture them, right?
Mm-hmm. Then captivate.
And were you working with intense needs kids? What was your
nonverbal?
Okay,
intense. Yeah. I worked with the kids who were verbal. I worked with one kid with ODD. Oh, it was so hard. I couldn't do it. I would break down. I felt like I was failing. I just didn't have it in me. But the really severe kids who just like every now and then throw something at you or headbutt you because they get frustrated, they're the ones that I'm like, all right, you're my kids.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because basically you're there to get them through the day, right? You're not at least that's how I see it with those kids. Like you're showing them how to live. Like you're showing them how to live. You're not really teaching them adding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's more day-to-day stuff. I mean, I loved working in the middle school with the higher functioning kids at that age because, man, that was so fun. We would go to the shopping store. We would go shopping as like a field trip. And I would be
to teach them how to.
God is testing my patience today. Like, just so funny. Oh my God, I used to laugh so hard.
How long were you at the middle school?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. I bumped around a lot being a para, but it was because people would be like, "You're amazing. We could put you anywhere."
Right.
And I'd be like, "Okay, somebody doesn't want to move. I'll go to the next school." I worked everywhere but Hastings.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the high school you worked?
No, I didn't work at the high school either.
But
I did
Mill
when
Pond,
I was subbing.
you did Mill Pond?
I did Mill Pond, and Fales and Armstrong. Yeah.
Could you tell a difference in like the atmosphere and environment and like leadership and amongst those programs? Like that's what I see a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember when Renee Hatherley was the principal at Mill Pond, I did not have a very hard time there, but then it switched over and I started to have a tough time. And I don't know if it's because I was like getting burnt out.
Could have been a combination.
Yeah. But then that's when I moved up to Maine. And then I worked with young preschool kids with that severe.
Yeah.
And I got accused of pushing one. And that's when I stopped.
What?
Yeah, that's why I stopped working with kids.
Wow.
It's on my record.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's
at least
crazy.
for the state of Maine. I've
So-
never done a real Corey check on myself for education.
Well, another teacher who accused you?
Another teacher accused me of it, and they couldn't even see me. There were eyewitnesses and other witnesses that were like, "Go to court, we'll vouch for you," because they didn't. And even like the people who I used to babysit for here in Westborough, they were like, "We will go and be
advocate for you."
Advocate for you. We'll be witnesses,
of course,
like character witnesses.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it. I was just like, I feel like I might just be burnt out from it. I'm kind of glad that I didn't pursue
Keep with it.
further.
Well, that's
I'm kind of finding my own path. So, and I'm helping people other ways, I guess. It's very far removed, but I do miss children in my life, in my daily life. That's for sure.
It's amazing how one thing like that can change. Because I was roommates with when I lived in Waltham, I was roommates with a lot of people, but one of my roommates taught at a preschool, and someone sent an anonymous note to the preschool. There was a male staff at the preschool. Someone sent an anonymous note to the preschool saying, so-and-so did this. And that was it. Just an anonymous note. No, nothing. No kids saying anything. And that was it. Done. It's crazy.
It was really hard for me.
You
broke. I almost walked the Appalachian. That's when I almost hiked the Appalachian
Trail.
Trail.
Okay. Yeah.
But instead, I had no money to do so.
Right.
I didn't want to borrow money from my parents, and my dad was like, "I can get you a job in this office." And so that's what I did. I started in documentation. Now I work as a quality.
You've been
assurance.
there ever since, or doing similar thing?
I
have
moved up the ladder significantly from doc control.
I don't know. So wait.
Document control is just controlling documents.
Take it and put it where it's supposed to go?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, and making sure that people
it's
are
official and it's
process on how to change
documents. So overseeing documents kind of.
Yes, and how they're changed and stuff.
Oh.
But now that's where I started, and now I work in quality assurance, which is I make sure that all of the processes are within FDA regulations and ISO standards.
You got to know your shit.
Yeah, I know. A lot of stuff. I work in clean rooms. I used to keep clean rooms certified. I don't anymore. The company I work for now, they hire out. But that's what I do. I work for this company called Editas, and we
in Burlington.
No, it's in.
You were working in Burlington though, right? No,
for a
am
while,
I making that up? Yeah,
for a little bit.
And where's this one?
This one's in Waltham and Cambridge and Boulder.
Oh.
Yeah. Those are the 3 locations. And we use CRISPR technology to change genes in genetic disorders. So we're focusing on blood right now. So we're turning sickle cells into regular cells.
Nice.
Cells.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. Just by changing the DNA of the cell.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they splice the RNA off, right? And they take away the bad protein,
right?
And they put it put a new one in.
Wow. And so is that FDA approved or about like trying to get
approval
we're in phase
or
one
of clinical trials?
Okay, clinical trials.
And there are 3 to 5 phases.
Okay.
I have to look into it.
You need to know.
I'm used to the other side of it. I'm not used to the clinical trials. This is new for me. I'm used to commercial. Like, it's already been made and approved. And
right. Now you're right.
So yeah.
So that's what the company's goal is, to find genetic disorders and correct them.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing that we can even think about doing something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
CRISPR technology's been around for a while.
Hasn't? Yeah. I think now that you say that term, I'm sure I've heard in a documentary at some point, but then, who knows how it works.
Yeah.
So are there like labs, like stuff happening in that building? Like, is everything going on in that one building?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
Where I work in the manufacturing side of the operation.
Affiliated with a hospital, or how does that
No,
work?
so the hospitals are the clinical sites.
Okay.
So what happens is there's people, we're only doing adult trials, so it's people 21 or older.
Okay.
And what they do is they say to these people with sickle cell anemia, or there's another one that TDT, but I can never say it.
Okay.
But we'll
That's
just
the
say
short
sickle
version.
cell anemia.
Yeah.
They say, oh, there's this program that is actually using this technology to change your sickle cells into regular cells. Would you like to try it? And so they get random patients at random to do these studies for us. And then we get data back from the clinical sites, because they're the ones who are monitoring the patient, right, after we've administered the drug. And we take that data and see what's going on. We do side effects and everything, but that's a whole other
protocol or whatever.
Piece, of quality that I don't work in. I'm just in the operations.
You need to know
how
what
we build it. Everything's clean going into the clean room. We don't want what happened in Framingham in 2013. Like, that's what I prevent from happening.
Can you remind us what that was?
What company it was, but there was
they were using people's
and there was a meningitis outbreak from some, I forget.
In a lab.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No, like there was some mold growing in their product, and it caused a meningitis outbreak.
Wow.
You remember this?
No, I don't.
Do you remember this? Yeah. What company was it?
I'll have to look at it.
It was like, it was literally in a dump. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah. How does that happen, though? The oversight isn't working, or people just
poor quality.
Yeah, poor quality
control. Poor quality assurance.
Wow.
And so it's like, that's what.
That's why. See, that's why. That's exactly why I think every drug should be legal, because you get that quality. You're not going to get fentanyl mixed in with something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's good and bad points to it, I suppose, but but knowing exactly what you're getting is important, and that it's clean and not.
Yes, legalizing and controlling the use of substances that can be beneficial for your growth and your mindset and
education on the bad ones.
Education on the bad ones, but also understanding that, like, we have an epidemic on our hands. It's really bad. And people just, a majority of
painkillers you're talking about? What are you talking about? Yeah.
We have a massive opioid epidemic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
People do not see it. They just walk right over it. Like it's nothing.
Well, because it's not my problem. It's a junkie's problem, right? I mean.
Yeah, they should have made better choices. And it's like.
Right. Something
broke them.
I was going to say, or they had a knee surgery and needed painkillers, and like, I understand why those things are addictive.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of it too came from the 2000 the
pandemic.
No.
COVID.
No, it was like in 2001. Was Dope Sick is based off of it.
9/11.
No.
What?
Oxycodone.
Oh, yeah.
Have you never seen Dope Sick?
I've seen a bunch of documentaries about
you should
how in Florida, like, doctors were just giving out pain medicine left and right. Right. Well, and they were making money
through Western Virginia. They were making money, but it spread through Western Virginia and Western Massachusetts too, because it hit like coal workers and stuff. People who were getting hurt physically on the job, they were like, this is safe. This will not be addictive. And it was actually massively addictive.
Right.
And
then they got cut off by the doctor, so then they go seek it out on the street.
To the heroin.
Yeah. Right. It makes sense.
And then they want to get off of heroin, and so they turn to methadone or the other one that gets in your bones. And it's like, there's no stop to it. It literally changes your brain. Like how your brain functions.
So in 2002, I had my first kidney stone. I don't know if you know the story. Yeah. So I was living in Waltham and playing video games. I was playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City, just sitting there. And I was like, am I sitting wrong? Like, what's going on? Like, I must be sitting wrong. And I was like, tried to adjust and play. And then I'm like, no, I have something serious going on. And I crawled up the stairs of the apartment to my roommate's room and like, oh, dude, take me to the hospital. Like, seriously, within 2 minutes, I was like, I need to go to the hospital. Mm-hmm. He's like, what's going on? I was like, it hurts here. He's like, I think you're having a kidney stone. So he's driving me to the hospital in Waltham, and he's going the wrong way. So I'm like in agony, trying like, oh no, this way. And then we finally get to the hospital, and they had me like fill out the paperwork and stuff. I'm like literally in the worst pain I've ever been in. Yeah. And so I finally get in to see a doctor, and they like scan me, and they're like, yeah, you have a kidney stone. And nothing they were giving me was helping. And then by that point, my parents show up, and like not too long after my parents showed up, they gave me morphine. And I was like, I literally went from the worst pain I've ever been into to like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like that. And I go to my parents, I was like, oh, I see why people are addicted to this. Like, I get it now. Like, and then I threw up.
Yeah. when I got my knee surgery, I came out of it and I was singing.
Yeah.
And I woke up.
Right.
And the doctors and the nurses were like, you're wonderful. We want to go
There's a lot of fun. Have you seen any internet videos of like people coming out of stuff just acting like loopy and like
I was singing,
hitting on nurses, if you can imagine such a thing?
Yeah. I wasn't hitting on them. I was
I'm just
to
saying
them about how wonderful they were for taking care of me.
When was that? How's your knee now?
It's fine.
Yeah. How long ago was that? Sorry, I'm trying to make you remember. Just curious.
4 years ago.
4 years? Okay. Pre-COVID.
Four. Yeah, it was pre-COVID. I was living in Waltham.
Okay.
With Jackson when it happened.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it was 4 years ago. Yeah. I tore my ACL playing kickball.
And that's the thing about painkillers is there are certain instances where you actually need them. Like they're useful, you know?
So I took them the first like 2 days after surgery and then I was like
I don't want,
no more because I was totally functional on them.
Yeah.
And I knew
and the
that
high, like feeling it high or just didn't help you?
It didn't make me feel high. It made me feel functional.
That's how bad your pain was.
My pain was bad, but I was
when
able to take a bunch of them and still be okay. Functional. Right, I was like, I could work right now. Go get me a laptop.
It was false sense of
my Jackson was like, no, you sit and you watch TV and you pass out. And I was like, I don't need to pass out. Yeah, I was totally like, a lot of people are like, oh, I take Obies. No, that one time I was like, boing. I was like, let's go. Let's go on an adventure. It's not, no, thank you.
So we were talking about shows earlier. So what are you watching now? Talking about
the Boba Fett.
You haven't done it yet.
We're big Survivor fans.
Okay. Oh wow, what season is that on now?
Oh my God, like 40.
I was gonna say like in the 50s.
46 or 47.
Connor's a huge Survivor fan. I don't know if he still watches it.
I never watched Survivor, and then I started watching during COVID with Jackson, and he and his mom always watch Survivor. He's always been into it. I got hooked. Yeah. I was like, this is awesome. Now I'm like, I want to be on Survivor.
I applied once.
You did? I wonder if I get on.
Me.
I'm pretty quirky. I wonder if I get on.
We could try.
Yeah, you
wouldn't hurt.
Try.
You definitely make a good entry video.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably like fall off the boat, like being dragged.
So where's the current one? Where are they located?
Somewhere in Fiji, I think they do it. Yeah, pretty regular.
Oh, they do the same.
Or
I always thought they
do
switched
move
around. Yeah, I don't
know.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
So have you seen every season? No.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't
that's
seen
what there's
every season.
a lot
I've only been watching for
recently
like
since
3 years. Yeah, since
Okay.
COVID.
Oh, okay.
Whenever the season with Devons, whatever season is with Devons is when I started
Who's that?
watching. He was a newscaster, and
Oh.
oh my God, he was so funny, and everybody kept trying to vote him off, and he would always squeeze by. Oh my God, he was ridiculously hilarious, and then he lost in fire making.
So I think I watched just the first season, and back then I think there was less planning going into it. Like they just basically let the people figure out how to get food and whatever. I don't know if it's like that the seasons you watch, like they have to figure out food. There's not food for them.
So they used to give them rice.
Okay.
But now they don't give them rice anymore.
They
you have to earn it.
Yeah. Oh,
and
really?
And then like the first challenge, only the first 2 teams get Flint. And that's all you get is Flint.
Wow.
But then as you do challenges and
You
win
get
them,
more
you
stuff.
get like a tarp or you get
See?
fishing gear or you
Okay.
get but you have to they forage for crabs and coconuts.
Yeah, that's what
and
the
mangoes
season I remember, like I thought they had all the stuff.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
they
it's been
have
a
to.
while.
They
They are,
have
but
to.
they didn't
They
earn
go
it. They just
fishing.
had it, and then they had to fish, and I think they were eating crabs.
So at the beginning of every season, we're always like, who's going to win? You know, we try to pick who it's going to be. And I always go, the pretty one.
They're all pretty. What are you talking about?
All of them.
Have they changed that?
Not all of them are pretty. But I said that the first season, and he was like the second one to get kicked off. But they went to the secret island with nothing. After they got kicked off to try to come back in, and he came back in and won the whole thing. I was like, the pretty one. So I was for the pretty
Wait,
one.
you mean you were banished, but then if you could make your way back, you were...
They brought them back to challenges, and they were like, you guys are going to fight for a spot back in.
Did you ever watch Real World or Road Rules?
No.
We used to... When I lived in Waltham, my roommate, I was living with a friend, Patrick, rest in peace, and our friend Amy, and she, I think it was a guy on, I want to say on Real World, and he's actually from Massachusetts. And he got into a fight in the Real World and broke his
face.
Yes.
His name was Danny something.
Okay, so she loved him.
He was from Leominster or something,
She loved him, and then they were doing a Real World Road Rules challenge thing in Boston. So we actually went. I went to a taping,
cool.
I guess, but it was just all because Amy liked this guy.
Yeah.
I didn't care. But it was cool to be part of the
his name was
experience.
Dan. And he got married to somebody that he met
On that? Oh, okay.
Season.
See, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't
He was like
follow.
infatuated with her. They got married. Yeah.
So you didn't watch, but you know more than me. Or you just heard about that
Yeah,
guy.
I just
that's
know
what
about
was.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe I did watch it. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's in this brain?
Who does know?
I forget a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I've forgotten a lot of high school. I've forgotten a lot.
But
and that was high school.
but that's the thing is, like, we're computers, right? So we can't, like, if you get new stuff going in, something has to go out, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it.
And it's also like if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Right.
Your neurons just
Right.
because you don't use
And the more emotionally you're attached to a memory, the more it stays in there.
Yeah. You know what the direct sense to memory is? Direct.
Smell.
Right in there. Yeah. Smell.
That's why I can't forget you, Katie.
Goes right up there. I know. I leave quite a trail. I leave quite. I cleared a concert section once.
I did a movie theater.
Yeah, I cleared bars. I've cleared dance floors. The worst was the concert section, though.
Which concert?
It was Jew Love and the Special Sauce.
Okay.
I went with Carter Griffin.
Okay. I've seen him.
Some other girl that he was seeing at the time. I think her name was also Katie, if I recall. And yeah, we went to House of Blues, and we had the seats up in the balcony, not standing.
Yeah.
And he was laughing the whole time.
By the way, we're talking about farting.
And then, yes,
don't
this
cut
is
that.
my horrible gas, which I've been holding in this whole time, by the way. But yeah, and he was laughing. Carter thought it was hilarious. And this guy came up to me and like totally shamed me. He was like, "You should be ashamed of yourself." I was like, "I can't."
Yeah, you can't.
help
You're not
it.
right. This is just who I am.
Sorry
Like, yeah,
that
right.
I am
And you didn't do it
right
on
now.
purpose. Like
I
you didn't
had
eat
raw
chili before.
onions,
You didn't have a
yeah.
plan before. Like I know
still
what I'm
don't
gonna
know
do.
What hot. It's so random.
Have you ever?
I used to think it was dairy.
Yeah.
Because White Russians would trigger it.
Oh.
But no, it's not really. Because
Have you ever tried to journal? Like journal your food intake and your farts?
Yeah,
and like,
I don't do that
No?
anymore.
Yeah, I did that for my Crohn's to like see what was setting me
Yeah,
off. Like, there was actually an app that would remind me to do it. And that helped. It actually helped me a little bit, but not. Yeah.
It does. It helps if you food journal, diet journal.
Right. And you're going to eat what you're going to eat anyway, right?
That's true.
Have you experimented with vegetarianism ever? No.
Oh, I love vegetarian food.
Yeah.
But I also love meat.
Yeah, you love everything. Yeah.
But I try to cook one vegetarian food
Item.
dish
Yes.
a week for dinner.
Okay.
Like one of my favorites is
because you're so good at you'll make vegetarian stuff when
I
I'm
love
there
it.
all the time, and it's always great.
I love tofu cauliflower korma.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good. Oh my god, there's some nuts. And the korma sauce is really easy. You just buy it at the store and throw it in the pan. Like I don't make it from scratch, but it's good. Yeah, I like to eat vegetarian. It feels cleansing.
Yeah.
You know, and it just, I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
I like tofu.
Yeah.
I like cube tofu.
Yeah. Huh? That's a rare thing.
I love vegetables. I love it.
Yeah.
I love hummus. Like, that's what I'm eating all day. Like,
yeah. Hummus.
Just like that kind of food. Like berries, nuts.
They have hummus in school lunches now, which never happened when I was a kid.
No. I wish.
They still have pizza on Friday, though. That's. I don't think that's ever going to change.
Is it Papa Gino's pizza or is
it's
it
like
just like
French
Elio's?
bread? The French bread.
French bread pizza.
Yeah, I'm talking.
That is pretty high.
Have you seen the new Fails building?
You know what? I think I'm gonna go over there after this and just like walk around and be like, "What is this?"
I don't
it was
think
just a tiny little nothing.
Yeah, right.
And so was every time I go by Hastings, I'm like, and Armstrong too. And Armstrong's been like that since
forever,
I was in high
forever.
school.
Yeah,
but still, just to look at it used to be just like this little L. Armstrong.
Had the high school already been renovated when you were there, or was it
being renovated?
Okay.
It had just finished my senior year. I remember my dad was so pissed at me because I lost my 2 front teeth. And they were like, was there any construction equipment around? And I was like, nope. And my dad was like, what the fuck? It was like, there's no. It's like, there wasn't any. I'm not going to steal money from the school, Dad.
What does your 2 front teeth have to do with it?
Because they were doing construction and I tripped in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, was there any construction equipment around? And you fell.
Okay.
Is there any, like,
okay.
And my dad was like, shut up. I was like, Dad, you're horrible. Horrible man. He did kick my chair. My mom was sitting there, proud as a mother could be. I raised an honest daughter.
How is everyone in the fam? Good?
They're good. My parents are so mobile.
Yeah.
It's insane. They go golfing every day.
Wow.
I'm so... I can't even. And they're 76.
Yeah, my dad still golfs.
Yeah, and 77. And it's you gotta do it.
Yeah.
I golf, and that's why it's like I see my parents, and like that's the best way to do it. I walk every day.
Yeah.
Do yoga. Like keep that body moving.
Motion. Yeah, motion is so. It's funny because like I'll have like school vacation, and for whatever reason, and I gotta like stop this. I'll be like, well, I'm on vacation, so I'm not working out all week. And guess what? By the end of the week, I feel like shit. And then like the following week when school starts again and I work out, I was like, oh, why wasn't I doing this during vacation? Because I feel so much better when I do this. Like I just can't. But like when I'm on vacation, I'm just like, nope, you're not doing anything today. I don't know why.
Because you need to vacate.
Yeah, but exercises, I should still put that into part of my day, no matter what I'm doing the rest of the day. But I just mentally, I'm like, nope.
It's sad. Everybody should go out into nature at least like 3 times a week for an hour. And nobody has time for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they say they're not making time for it. They're not making time for it.
I've been getting up at 5:30 in the morning every morning.
God. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've always been a morning person, though, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I wasn't for a while, and it was making me like the nastiest person. And
come on.
I know. I'm not even lying to you. I'd be like, wake up at like 9 o'clock. Like I'd be like, I don't want to do the day. But now that I'm like waking up at 5:30 in the morning, I'm like, Yes, and I can go for a walk with the dog or do yoga or something. Like, it just is a great way to ease into
What
your
time do
day.
you go to bed during the week usually? Early? Like 9? Yeah. Yeah, that's so the weird thing about growing up. I like going to bed early. Because I know, well, if I do this, if I don't do this, I'm going to struggle in the morning. And when you're younger, when I was in my early 20s, I'd be like, well, I'll be tired in the morning. I'll just deal with that.
And people are like, "Oh, don't you wish you had kids?"
No.
I get
No,
to
nay,
go
never.
to bed at
Yeah,
9.
yeah, exactly.
Y'all have to stay up at 11 to do your shit. You do all the kid shit before 8. I'm done by 4 with all my stuff.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It has its pluses.
What's that?
I said it has its pluses.
Yeah, everything has positives and negatives, right? Yeah, it's funny. I'll play Fortnite with Glenn, and it all depends on if he has his kids or not. He has kid responsibilities or not. And sometimes he'll be like, yeah, so I should be doing this with my kids right now, putting them to bed, but they're on their iPads and I'm playing with you.
They're quiet.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can see
and I know he doesn't do it that often. I know, and that's the other thing is like you can tell it. That's the weird thing with like, especially nowadays, is like that didn't exist when we were kids. The iPad, constant, like, when I was a kid, we had literally like 5 TV channels we could watch, and that was it. Like,
the remote control was attached to the TV.
we didn't even have one. I was the remote. I had to run up and change it.
Yeah, you had to like sit right in front. Ours had a wire to the TV. I remember our first remote, and it had light switches on it for the channels. And there were only like 12 channels or something.
And kids now they're just so much intake of the internet and every channel, and whether it's an app or YouTube or, they just...
Yeah. Our parents would lock us out of the house when we would get annoying. And now they just hand a kid an iPad. And I'm glad that I wasn't handed an iPad.
Yeah,
I'm droney as it is.
Yeah.
Like, I get so like... my ADHD.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being a 12-year-old with all the Star Wars material that's out there now. Like, that's crazy. Like, whereas when I was a kid, we were just playing our own Star Wars. We had our figures and we made our own extra adventures. We didn't have other things to watch.
You had to use a lot of imagination, right?
Yeah.
And now there's like an offshoot for everything.
Right.
Everything has But I can't imagine growing up with this technology. No. Socially,
Yeah.
I would have not made it.
Yeah, like with social media in high school and stuff.
Middle school, I wouldn't have made it. I honestly do not think I would have made it. I would not be sitting here today.
I did at one point. I did a series of Facebook updates that I would have done in college had Facebook existed when I went. So it was like NER 0.36 blood alcohol level, like some like updates like that when I was drinking, like what I would have done. Like
I remember when Facebook first came out, there were people who were mad because they didn't have a college email address.
It was only because it was only college, right? That was right when we met. Was when that whole MySpace and
2006. Five.
Yeah. That was all just emerging.
Yeah.
MySpace, and you'd have your top friends. Do you have top friends on MySpace, Mark?
Tom is always my number one.
Tom with you,
one, Tom. Always.
And now controversy. Like why am I not in your top whatever?
Yeah. Whatever. I burned so many bridges.
with social media.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore.
And then you could have the one good thing about MySpace was it was good for musical artists because you could for free. You could have a musical page and put your files up.
I wrote a song in college and put a song on MySpace.
Yeah.
I don't know how to access it, but it was horrible.
It's weird to think that's 18. That stuff's 18 years old. That stuff.
Yeah. Facebook's 18 years old.
Right. So we've been living.
Mark Zuckerberg's old, man.
Yeah. Is he?
I don't know.
No, because he was in
like
college.
42 or something.
Well,
43.
he was in college. Was he a freshman or sophomore when he dropped out? I think it was 2004 when he.
No, wasn't he like? Just
he was in college.
2 years older than me.
Well, your high school 2000.
Yeah, maybe he's younger than me.
No, he's older because you graduated high school in 2002.
Yeah.
In 2004, oh, actually, maybe the same age. Because
Yeah,
in
maybe we're the same
2004
age.
is when
He might be
was
a year younger than
Have
me,
you
actually.
watched this? It's called The Social Network.
No, I've never
Oh.
seen that movie.
It's a good one. Or The Social Dilemma. Do you ever watch that documentary about what social media does and how it programmed and how, surprise, surprise, it's programmed to divide us. I mean,
No,
Yeah.
I'm not really. I don't pay attention to social media as much as I used to.
that's a good
It's
thing.
kind
That's a
of-
good thing.
Like I'll scroll through it and I'll comment sometimes, but I don't post anymore.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know. I've left my past behind me, and that's what I don't know what it is.
Well, you're growing up too. I mean, we're growing up too. I think that's part of it.
That's part of it.
It's hard for me, as a, my comedian side needs it. And this, I need that social media to connect with people. But again, you determine how much you interact with it.
that's true.
Joe Rogan has the biggest podcast in the world. He never reads any comments of anything of his. So like he has other people post it all up. He never looks at it, never sees it.
Yeah,
and
that's
just
what most
lets it exist.
celebrities-
Right. You have to, right? Because there are people that make the mistake of like interacting with all their haters. It's like, why would you do that?
To poke the bear.
Right. And right. And yeah. Oh, you're going to mess with me? I'll show you. Like, yeah. I mean, that's part of it, I guess. But it's just crazy to think how different the world is now than when we were kids.
Yeah. But I'm grateful. That we don't plow like our faces into our phones. Like Jackson and I would rather sit down and play music or something, or play a game, or go for a walk. It's not just like glued to the television. I used to be glued to the television all the time, and I'm not anymore. And it's nice.
That's good. It's a good habit.
My brain needs it.
Oh yeah.
Getting older.
Have you ever been out to dinner with someone and they're constantly looking at their phone?
I hate that.
Right? Oh my God.
I hate that. When I was dating, I used to leave my phone in my car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just no.
Right.
I don't want that distraction.
I've heard the one when you're out to dinner, everyone puts their phone in the middle of the table, and then anyone that grabs their phone first has to pay the bill. Yes.
That's hard for people with kids, though.
Well, my parents did it with 5 kids. They never went out to dinner with a single phone on their person.
But my parents didn't go out on dates often until we were older.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, well, I don't know. We had babysitters.
I guess no. I really don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember having a babysitter.
My parents, not before. I don't know if this is before I think it was before I was born. They used to have like psychic groups at our house down the street. They would have like mediums come and do like seances and shit in our house.
Okay.
Is that crazy?
That explains a lot.
Yeah, right? Have you ever had supernatural experience?
Yes.
Let's get into those.
Oh, yes. In college, I had quite a few. So Farmington is up in the middle of nowhere. It's at the base of Sugarloaf Mountain. It's a really gorgeous area. I highly recommend you go see the Bigelows sometime in your life, or at least Bar Harbor, Maine. But anyway, it was this little town, just a strip, and there was a big fire in the town long time ago. And I should also tell you, Farmington is the home of the earmuff.
That's where it was invented?
Yep.
Oh.
Farmington. The
Interesting.
earmuff. There's a whole earmuff parade and everything. But anyway, on Main Street, there was a big fire. And I lived in one of these buildings, and they were all attached. And it was like the one part that like survived the fire. And there was definitely a ghost in there.
Ooh.
I would hear it. So there was an attic that I would go up and smoke my weed in, and then we come down, and we were on the second floor, and there was an insurance place below us, and it was all crickety and crockety, and I was so old. And one day I was up in the attic smoking, and I heard Katie, and I swear to God it was my mom. And I was like, my mom's here? What is going on? And so I ran down this rickety stairs of the attic, and I come down. And then like, hello? And nobody, nothing.
Ooh.
Not a thing. And so I started telling people, like, I think that there's something going on with my apartment. And they were all like, you're ridiculous. And then one night I fell asleep on the couch and I woke up and there was a huge shadow in the door. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to sleep here tonight. I'm not going to move at all. And they thought I was crazy. And my friend Bethany came and she stayed on my couch one night. And I don't remember why, but she wasn't drunk. She just came to sleep over one night. And she stayed on the couch and she like woke up and she was like, I saw it. I was like, I told you. And then
the shadow, she saw the same shadow. Yeah.
She was like, I saw it. I think that like I attract spirits.
Yeah, that's,
too.
I mean,
like I bring
and people have there's a spectrum of people's sensitivity to it, I think, too, right?
And then I moved to another apartment, which was down the road a little bit. And I used to hear this like exactly like feet shuffling on the carpet. And it would be outside of my door in the hallway. And I would just be like, stop it. Leave me alone. I would constantly and Beth thought I was crazy. My roommate that woman became my roommate. She was like, you're crazy. And I was like, no, there's a ghost. And one night somebody came in and like shook me awake. And I was like, go away. I thought it was my boyfriend at the time, just drunk, coming, to be like, hey, I can't drive. I'm staying here. But I was just like, go away. And the next day I was like, who came into my room last night and tried to wake me up? And
no,
not one person I knew. And I was like, what is going on? And then I think I saw a little girl in a window once.
Ooh.
And I was like, Beth, I'm telling you, this apartment building is haunted.
It is something, right?
And I was like, whatever it is, this little girl is just taunting me, or she loves me, or something.
Right.
Is trying to tell me something. And Beth was like, no. So then I go away. My niece was born, so I go away for a week to go meet my niece. And Bethany, my roommate, and my friend were sitting in the living room, and my bedroom door is right off the living room, and the door was closed, latched. And it swung open and slammed shut. And it swung open and slammed shut. And they left. She was like, I did not go back. I have not been back since you left. That ghost was mad that you were gone. I was like, I told you. I was like, I'm just entertaining it. It was probably mad that I was gone. It was like, where's my thing?
Yeah.
Like,
that's so weird.
It's
person? Funny. I was like, when I had my experience on Ruggles Street, like I was relieved. I don't know about you, but you think you're going crazy. And then something happens with other people around, and you're like, oh, thank God other people heard that or saw that. So they know I'm not making it up or I'm not seeing things, right? Yeah.
So when Jackson and I first moved into the house, I was hearing weird things. I was hearing like whispering and stuff, and he was like, "You're crazy," and I wanted to do a sage.
Something. Yeah.
And I read online. I got the sage and everything. And it was like, make sure that your house is extremely well ventilated before you do a sage burning, or you will like it. It'll
make it worse. Or
it's really messy.
Yeah.
And we don't have good ventilation in our house, so I ended up not doing it. And it went away, but now lately Watson has just been, our dog, has been like just staring at top corners and
something's
being like,
going on. Yeah, right?
Out of nowhere. And our cats too. Our cats will like stare into a corner and then all of a sudden like,
right.
Like, cats are like that anyway.
Yeah, but, maybe.
I don't know.
I've seen Kaylin's cats, which I've seen two cats at the same time turn and look in the same place where there's nothing there. I'm like, something's going on there.
Yeah. There's something. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are my ghost stories.
Yeah, that's cool.
They're chilling. Especially with the little girl one. It's just like so.
That's what people used to see at Hope Lodge. They used to see a little girl at the top of the stairs. I never experienced... Yeah. I never saw anything at Hope Lodge, but I would definitely hear footsteps. I would just hear... In my apartment, you went to my apartment in Hope Lodge. I would be in my bed, and I'd just hear stuff happening in the other part of that, or just like tapping or like something going on that probably shouldn't have been there.
Oh, it's the pipe. So I've heard people like yelling in the distance.
Yeah, I went to Mark Twain's house in Hartford, which is really cool, by the way.
It's
really cool. Yeah. So I'll go there again in a second. And I asked the tour guide, I was like, have anyone had any supernatural, like, what's going on here? And he's like, oh, nothing. And like, right when I asked that, there was a noise on the floor above us. Like, he's like, oh yeah, it's an old house. I'm like, come on, man.
No.
That just happened right when I was asking you about this. Like, come
You're
on.
ridiculous. But like when things just fly across the room, you're like, there's something at play here.
That same guy, we were in the children's playroom, and he was like talking about the old toys, and he's like, yeah, the his granddaughter kept these toys and blah 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 blah, and he's like, how many of you still have a toy from when you were a kid? And I go, without missing a beat, I go, yeah, I have an R2D2 figure in my car right now. You want me to go get it?
Yeah, figures are a thing.
What kind of toys did you grow up with? What was your Star Wars? Obviously, mine. Did you have a go-to?
I really liked cutting hair off of dolls.
Oh, okay.
I really liked. I don't know. I don't really remember.
Like you don't have I got a Death Star on Christmas and it was the best thing ever story. No.
No, because I was the youngest of 4, so things that
did you get passed?
like,
did you get toys passed down? I know
I
got I got clothes passed down.
I didn't get toys passed down, but I got like big thing, like a bike.
Yeah,
that's like a kid's like to get a bike on their birthday.
Right.
And
you got an old
even
bike.
Something that I asked for because I knew it was just like
it was coming. Yeah, right, exactly.
Like, that's my bike. You
in
just know
4 years or 5 years,
Dad's gonna put the training wheels on that one. So yeah, but yeah. I just I can't remember. I even like growing up. I remember when I was little. There was my brother Danny had a Teddy Ruxpin bear.
Oh, those were huge. Yeah.
I loved it. And I wore it out so much that the bottom jaw broke off. And I still loved it so much. I would listen to the story.
My cousin Matt had a Teddy Ruxpin, I think.
It was.
Did you have a Cabbage Patch Kid?
I had a Cabbage Patch Kid. Her name was Joyce. Yep. She smelled like powder. Yeah.
Your mom didn't have to beat anyone up to get
No, it was a bathtub one, so it was probably like a cheaper one to get.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I could bring Joyce in the bathtub with me. It wasn't like a spongy one.
The internet has kind of killed those, those fighting over toys stories.
Like Beanie
Babies?
Yeah. Man, that whole scam. What a
yeah, because they're not worth money anymore, right?
No.
It's weird how people like quote decide like baseball cards are worth something because all it is cardboard, right? It's really not worth, right? Yeah, but they pay millions of dollars for it. But
magic cards.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, you do you. That's great.
Everyone has their thing, right?
Everybody has their thing.
I got rid of pretty much all my Star Wars stuff. That was my thing, but I was like, I realized like the things aren't what makes Star Wars happy for me. Watching it and talking to my friends about it, like that's really where the joy is.
Oh, so could we talk about something?
Sure. We have a couple minutes, but yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Does Finn have the Force? I just rewatched the first two of those.
So what you're asking? What I think?
I think he does.
Yeah, me too.
That's why he's able to snap out of it, and that's why he
connected and he knew what Rey was going. Yeah,
he knows where to go.
Right, and what's going on. He can feel what's going on with her. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for confirming that. Thank you. Yeah.
We're talking about Finn from the episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Yes, I still
former ex-stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Hero turned hero.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, they're so trusted. That's what really made me think of it because I'm rewatching those 3.
Yeah.
Because I've only seen them once.
Yeah.
And as I was watching, I was like, they are the rebels or whatever. They're so trusting in him. He could be like a spy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I was like, I think it's because he has
he's Force and they can feel it and they know it. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
So yeah, I got into a big argument with somebody about it, and they were like, "No," and I was like, "How is he able to wield a lightsaber? You have to have the Force to do that." So
I told you what I'm doing this summer, right?
No.
So I'm flying to Ireland,
Yes,
Dublin,
I knew that.
beginning of July, and then I'm gonna hike the coast all the way to the bottom, all the way over to Dingle, where they filmed.
They filmed it up the stairs. Yes.
Yeah, where they filmed the Last Jedi. Yeah.
Are you gonna see any of the little guys?
Oh, the
Little
porgs?
porgs?
Yeah. Well,
Porgs.
those are things that they digitally. You know that story?
No.
There was so there's a bird in that area, and there's so many of them. They're like, we can't get rid of these things for the shoot, so we're gonna have to just change them into something else. Yes. Yes.
So
I'll see a bunch of birds.
Now?
I don't know what they are, but yeah.
Oh.
So I'll see porgs.
Get a picture with some porgs.
On that note, Katie, our hour is just about up. Dude, that flew by. I knew it was gonna fly by.
Sorry I brought
You're
up
so
Star
much.
Wars
No,
at the
you're
end.
no. How dare you? How dare you? Always a pleasure hanging out with you, talking to you. I love you so
Love you
much. You're the
too.
best. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Have a great day. Bye.
Adios.